This is the afternoon edition of the Weather Xtreme video. This is for Wednesday, the 29th of February. Don't get to say that date, but every 4 years. James Spann here. Very active weather. Severe weather tonight, severe weather Friday night. Let's just get in there and talk about it. We'll start with some of the Skycam shots around the Alpha Skycam network this afternoon. That's coming from Gadsden, and obviously it's kind of a moist afternoon there. Nothing heavy, just basically drizzle from the Skycam up on the mountain overlooking the city. Down the road, there's the Chehaw Skycam. The visibility clearly better there. That's at 2,400 feet. The sky is cloudy, and there's the Clanton Skycam down in Chilton County, and again, it's mostly overcast. Big old upper low just below Minneapolis, St. Paul. Big snows, and the cold air north of that. Severe weather down to the south. Of course, looks like a number of fatalities with this, which is so tragic. Southern Illinois, parts of Missouri, and storms that came through during the pre-dawn hours. And again, we just have to wonder if some people didn't hear the warnings. It's a big problem we have. But again, down here, we'll focus on what's going to come. There's temperatures, and it's obviously pretty mild. Readings are mostly in the 60s here. And there's the watch warning map, and needless to say, it's busy with snow issues up north, severe weather issues down south, and also winter weather issues out west with this new trough that will bring us the next chance of severe weather Friday night. There's the tornado watch. This is in effect until 9 o'clock tonight for much of North Alabama. It does not include Tuscaloosa, Birmingham, Anniston. It does include Gadsden and Cullman and Hamilton and places like that, Jasper, Millport, Double Springs. And that's where the greatest risk of isolated tornadoes will be. There's the convective outlook, a moderate risk now for the Tennessee Valley of extreme North Alabama up into Tennessee. Surrounding that, a slight risk as far south as Montgomery. And there's the tornado probabilities. The 15% probabilities are over much of Tennessee and extreme North Alabama and North Mississippi. Relatively high for a tornado threat, but notice down this way that the tornado probabilities really drop off. And again, for Tuscaloosa, Birmingham, Anniston, Gadsden, we firmly think the main threat will be from strong straight-line winds with the squall line tonight and not really from tornadoes. But having said that, expect the unexpected. We'll be watching. Tomorrow, we're kind of in between these waves, but still there's a slight risk for severe weather. That's the standard risk with the bullseye centered around Memphis. I don't think we have any issues here, but Friday, another round of severe storms. The risk area from near Jackson and Birmingham up to Columbus and Indianapolis. And we've got an enhancement in there from northwest Alabama up to about Cincinnati, the 30% circle you see there. But let's get through tonight, then we can focus on that. Here's a QPF chart, expected rain for the next days. How about 3 inches of rain? Goodness. We're riding the bullseye there. And this is valid through Monday morning of next week, but the rain should be over by mid-morning Saturday. All right, a quick peek at the ongoing situation, and we're not going to really talk about that much here. We're going to focus on the Friday event because this thing is kind of ongoing now. That's the STP. And I just noticed one of our sky watchers checking in with a temperature of 76 and a dew point of 67 in Lamar County. That's pretty ripe. He's got some sunshine there. And the STP values are highest over northwest Alabama. So we'll be watching that tornado watch area for isolated tornadoes. And again, for most everybody else, with the surface low and the upper low so far north, the main threat along the I-20 corridor should be strong straight-line winds with a squall line. So again, we will be watching carefully. But let's go to tomorrow. We're kind of in between waves. The lead wave is dampening out over New England. The next wave is developing out west. And down below that, the front just runs out of gas. It's north of Birmingham, up around Cullman. So tomorrow, kind of a cloudy-ish day, mild. The chance of a few scattered showers, nothing really organized, and maybe some thunder. We think highs should be in the mid-70s. And then Friday, you can see the trough out west. Down below that, midday Friday, the surface low is closer to Chicago, a little farther north this time. Hopefully that will diminish a tornado threat, but still, that obviously puts us in a favorable quadrant there for severe weather Friday afternoon. We've been saying Friday night. It could begin Friday afternoon. And the deal, those afternoon storms could be somewhat cellular, and those could be problematic. So we'll have to watch those closely. We'll go to Friday night at midnight. The surface low is near Windsor, Ontario, and some evidence a secondary low tries to form on that line. Well, if that's the case, that could change things, is that could keep a tornado threat going into Friday night. But if it rolls over into a squall line with no surface low, it's going to be a damaging straight line wind event by this point, by midnight Friday night. Check the severe weather parameters. This is the surface-based CAPE. The instability valid at midnight Friday night. And it's got the higher instabilities moving into Alabama, over 1,000 joules, but that's not overwhelming. But then again, that's late at night. Shear values certainly supportive of rotating updrafts. Of course, the big numbers are northeast of here, but that certainly will, set the stage maybe for isolated tornadoes. There's the Energy Helicity Index, the EHI. The peak values are from near Tuscaloosa to Nashville. And again, this is all at midnight Friday night. And there's the forecast STP, the significant tornado parameter, and this is at 9 o'clock Friday night. And numbers are solidly between 1 and 3 across the deep south here. And that's significant. Anything over 1, means you can have a significant tornado. And when you start seeing those big numbers, that's when you start really worrying about that. So, again, once we get tonight's storms out of here, we can really focus on this. But I'd say the main window, Friday afternoon, maybe 2 o'clock until maybe 2 a.m. Saturday. Speaking of Saturday, this is the look at midday. Showers and storms are exiting our area, but again, this GFS run is fairly consistent with the run we saw last night. So it looks like we'll have to hang on to showers and storms maybe through mid-morning Saturday. Then beyond that, clearing and turning cooler. I should be in the middle 60s. Looks like it might be a day where we start the day in the mid 60s and drop back to near 60 by afternoon. We kind of go backwards with that cold air advection. Sunday should be a sunny and cool day. Highs in the 60s. Monday of next week, we're dry. There's Tuesday. Winds kicking out of the south. We're still dry. Wednesday, still dry. And then finally on Thursday of next week, this is March 8th, the batch of storms comes in here. We'll check the end of the forecast on March the 16th. No cold air with that look. Kind of a split flow. The northern branchway up in Canada, upper low north of us, and looks kind of mild and showery if that's right. But again, no evidence of any serious late season cold snap for the next 15 days. That's it for the Weather Xtreme video today. We'll have notes on the blog. Next video here by 7 o'clock tomorrow morning. And if you live around here, we invite you to watch us on television this evening, ABC 3340 in Birmingham at 4, 5, 6, and 10. Thanks for watching. Have a wonderful evening, and God bless. The first thing you've got to understand, you cannot rely on an outdoor siren. You cannot hear those inside a home, a building, a church. It won't work. You've got to get something inside your house. That's a weather radio or maybe a smartphone app. We work with a company that's developed a wonderful weather radio app for Android phones and iPhones. It knows where you are, and if you're in a tornado warning polygon, you get the warning. And if you're not, you don't. It's an effective device, and it's a great way to be sure you get the warning.